Video journal entry number 20. May 18th, 2025. Got a little spicy with the intro again. But man, let's see. First things first, I let out with the most heaviest Negro sighs. My anticipated month-long break has to be pushed back for another month. Oh man, with heavy hearts. Something came up at work. Like initially, so like I was actually supposed to be filling in for somebody that was going on leave, but life happened and they had to go on leave earlier than expected. So yeah, I can't take my break now. Like I had the option, like I had a choice, but it's one of those type of choices where it's like, do I really have a choice? You know, like one of those where some people are really good at like, well, it's not my problem, I don't care, but like I'm not one of those people. So I was like, dang, like I would feel bad if I just like left people high and dry, you know? And I know people have like mixed feelings about that, but I don't really mind too much. I didn't book any flights or anything like that. If I was to have booked a flight, then like I would have had to say like, well, no, but I didn't, so it wasn't too much of a lift. I just have to like push things back. I was really looking forward to the break, especially being in like June, since that's like perfect weather. It's like not too hot. It's probably not that many cool days left, but alas, July will have to do. Man, I mean, I guess it's not all bad. It's like I feel like it'll give me like a lot of good experience. It'll be like essentially being able to having an internship of like running a department in a way. That's essentially like almost what it is. So I guess it's like decent experience. Like I get to do like a little bit more vendor management type stuff, more stakeholder management stuff that I'm a little bit used to already, and just like more tech stuff, which I'm kind of liking. I'm getting to like learn a little bit more about like certain technologies parts that has to do with my job and how it like relates to other technical departments, which is like I guess pretty interesting. But it's like interesting, but at the same time like I don't know if like how long I'd be doing this type of role thing. So like it makes, I don't know like how beneficial like certain things that I learned would be. I think it would be helpful. I feel like one thing about me, I try to learn as much as possible because things relate. A lot of things end up relating together. A lot of things are like, what's the word? I don't want to say, it's not cross-functional. The word where like you could take a skill from one thing and apply it to another thing. That's what it is. A lot of skills are like that. So I don't know, it is what it is, you know, 50-50. I love 50-50. So that's the first off. But I am sad because like I was like really looking forward to that break, but alas. And with that being said, like this is my first week doing like the stuff I had to do, and it was relatively stressful because like I pretty much like went in like with not a lot of context. Like I went in with having to figure out a lot of things on my own and going into situations not knowing as much, but like we got through it. Like the end of the week is here, so yeah. Apparently like one of our Skip Direct's managers was like really happy with the work I've been doing, and apparently he kept like saying like I was doing a good job, which is nice. And you know, it made me think like it was a good compliment. Like he was saying how I picked things up quickly. I realized like that is one of like the most one of the compliments that like actually make me feel like the best, when people like make a comment on like how quickly I learned something or like my intellect or skill or stuff like that. I feel like those type of comments kind of like, I'm like, thanks, you know. I don't know what to do with like certain other comments when like, oh, like you look pretty this way, you look nice that way. That's like thanks. But like when somebody's like, oh, like you did a good job with X, Y, and Z, or something that I'm like trying towards, that's always like a nice compliment, I guess. But yeah, that's how that went. Let's see what next. I've been a bit more involved with my music this week. I pulled out my keyboard to like sketch out some chords. I haven't done that in a while. I feel like since I've been using my iPad for a little bit, as I've like started to try to like do my own production more, I've been like using my iPad to scratch things out, but like it's been a long time since I've like busted my keyboard and like put my fingers and like play those chords versus like programming them into Logic. But that was kind of nice. It was an interesting experience, and it's helping me learn or remember like certain music theory a little bit more, and thinking about things like voice leading and like playing that out with my fingers. So that's been really nice. I don't think this is gonna be a long one. I feel like I didn't write a lot of my thoughts till the end of this week. I mean, especially because I was so busy with like work stuff. But what next? Oh, I finally have the song. I think I kind of felt like I talked about this last week, but I guess I didn't. But I finally have the song that will like convey how I've been feeling, and like it'll be like an interpretation of a lot of information that I've been absorbing and how I've been feeling about what's happening in our country and in the world, etc., of our economy. So I'm really happy about that because I did like some research a few weeks ago about like different just political aspects that refer to that. I feel like I've mentioned this before, and that was what's on this board over here. I took notes for, and it's kind of interesting to see how all those things finally synthesize into like a song idea in a way. You know, I like couldn't really push that process of the song. Like I read what I could read, I listened to what I could listen, and then finally like one day I had like the melody. So I have like the melody, and then I have the chords. And I really need to work on the production side of it and interpreting more of the things that I've learned through research. I feel like the initial structure of the song kind of came from within, and like that interior interpretation of everything that I've observed. But now I try to be like a little bit more intentional about like adding certain elements, like for example adding the talking drums in at certain points and adding chant based things in at certain points to kind of an ode to French Revolution and that type of pushback against authority. And then like the talking drums, like I've mentioned before, something that was established within African history before colonialism, and I don't know, had a way of conveying a message and speaking something further and wide. As I'm trying to like write a song and help convey a message, the use of those talking drums in a way can convey a message, etc. I'm looking forward to that part. It's stressing me out a little bit, but I'm kind of sit down and like get that done. What else? Ooh, I got a bed frame. I know this sounds like really late. I've been in my place for like a long time now, but I have not had a bed frame. I had a bed frame when I was moving in, but like it needed a box spring, and my box spring could not fit through the hallways. So essentially I was like, well, I guess get rid of it, I guess, until I find a better bed frame. So I've been like mattress on the floor, which I actually like. I like sleeping on the floor, and that's why when I was deciding I wanted a bed frame, I wanted a low profile bed frame. I had a bed frame that I had in mind, and I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace like regularly, and I've been seeing some pop up, but it wasn't at the price that I wanted. And recently this week, one popped up, and I didn't even have to bargain because I didn't even want to bargain with the lady because I liked that price. I was good with it. And I got it, and I set it up, and I love it. It makes my room feel so different to me. Like, it just changes the whole aura and vibe of my room. I'm actually so surprised about it. I guess maybe it has something to do with, like, feng shui and chi and things like that. I feel like it does, because, like, just setting that bed up like that, and just what is added to the atmosphere of my room is just chef's kiss. Oh, I love it so much. I feel like this weekend, oh man, it was like such a cozy, comfy type of vibe. Like I really wanted to like drink a little bit of wine and like chill and do my things. I didn't drink any wine though, because I'm like cutting back on alcohol or like not drinking pretty much. And I don't know, I wrote about this in my journal a little bit extensively, but like my like physical journal. I don't know what stance I want to take with it. Like do I want to like cut it off cold, just be done with it and not drink anymore at all, or do I want to have like the occasional drink here and there, or do I want to like reserve it to like when I travel, like for example when I was at Japan, I wanted to like taste the sakes and things. Like I think for the most part, like if I'm trying something new and like trying like a drink that may be a liquor or focused drink from another culture, I'm gonna try it, of course. But like unlike my regular life, will I continue? Will I drink wine? Will I not? I'm deciding. I know for the most part, like I don't want to consume a lot of alcohol in my life because for health reasons, alcohol has a more adversary effect on women, as well as it has anti-aging effects, messes up your gut, etc. But at the same time, like a nice little buzz here and there is nice. And I feel like for me, a little drinky drink is a bit more manageable than like wine, but like than like the spicy lettuce, if you will, the devil's lettuce. Because like back in the, oh man, I guess I'm gonna out myself, but like when I was younger, I had tried the devil's lettuce, and it lasts for like so long, at least to me. Like when I was little, it would last a long time. But if I like get a little bit tipsy, and I stick to my limit, I don't really go above a certain limit. But like if I get a little bit tipsy and like, or even if I get a little bit more throwed, it lasts like 4 hours max, where I'm like really like, full of it. That's it. That's max, and that's if I've like pushed like the upper ends of my limit, So yeah, it's a little bit more feasible, but I don't know, I'm trying to debate, because like I feel like I was talking to my brother, he was telling me about like one uncle that we had that like smoked a lot and still lived longer, and I feel like those type of things are like subjective. Like, maybe some people can like be chugging down the alcohol and the spicy lettuce and the cigarettes, and they like live till like a long time, while some people it has a really bad effect. So I'm like debating where my stance will be with it. I think for now, maybe I'll like leave it to, if I'm like trying a new drink from like a new culture, etc., if I'm traveling, I think I'll leave it to that. I'm debating if I want to like throw in like some wine every like month or something. I don't know, but I'll decide. It's not really, I feel like it's not really like a big thing, but like I've just mentioned before, like this past weekend, like the vibes were just so right for it, and I was like, dang, I'm not gonna do it though, because I'm not doing that right now. It would have been nice to like give myself that little break, but I don't know. I don't know where my boundary's gonna be with that. But alas, chef's kiss to my bed. Another thing, I don't know if I mentioned it last week. I feel like I mentioned it towards the end of my video entry last week, but I got this book called Daily Rituals, Women at Work. Ooh, I need a little drink. Not a drink, but like I need some water. I need a bev. But alas, it's about women's routine, like successful women who have been like successful in their fields as far as like writing, composition. I'm not sure if they mention actors, but like creative women who have been successful in their work, and it studied their routines. Now, when I found out about that book, I was like, oh, I need to get it. I found out about it through a YouTube video by a creator named Roombo Mercy, and she made a video about the book, and like she was experimenting with some of the different routines. And when I saw that book and I saw what it's about, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get that, because that is like a driving kind of question within myself. Like, what should my routine be to be like the artist I want to be? Like, as an artist, as a creative, what should my routine be to succeed and to get the things done I want to get done, to accomplish the things I want to accomplish? And you know, creativity is like one of the hardest things. Like, making a living and things like that, when it comes to creativity, it's hard because it's not really like a straightforward path or taught. Like, for example, I feel like with being a doctor and being a lawyer, there's a set path. You go to your schooling, you go to some more schooling, you do a residency or something, or apprenticeship, and then you get your job. Like, between your graduation and get your job, that can be a little bit hazy waters, because you don't know how long it's going to take you to get a job, etc. But at the end of the day, like, the process is going to be the same, right? But I feel like with things like creative art, etc., that's like, it's not straightforward. They don't teach you anything about that. Like, when I was in college, I think I mentioned this before, but like, they do not teach you anything about like really making a living as a creative. They teach you the skill sets of like making music, etc., but that's about it. So you have to figure that out on your own. And with that being said, if you don't have like the network and the community and the environment, you won't really know. And I don't really know. I'm like, what should I be doing? What should my days be looking like? So when I saw that book, I was like, oh my gosh, let me go get it now. And I've been reading it this past week, and I feel like it's actually made me feel a bit more secure and confident in myself as calling myself an artist, because those routines vary so much from like women who are a little bit like me, who can be really obsessive about things in the moment and like really like plunge into a zone and like get the most energy of that zone, and then like after that you like fall out the wayside for a while. But as well, it also has like women who are like super day and night, grind it out, crunch it out. And I think it all depends on your personality and who you are. So it's very interesting to see that, and it made me feel a little bit better to know that like people have succeeded in their fields and with all different types of routine. So that made me feel good. I look forward to like keep reading that book. I don't know if I'm gonna try to like read it through. I feel like it's the type of book, and the author even mentions it themselves, that you can like bounce around and read one person's routine and then maybe read another person's routine, but then you can also like read through it straight across and just read everybody's as they organize it. So I'm debating. I think I'm gonna try to read it straight across, but sometimes I do feel like skipping and reading one person's routine versus the other. But looking forward to how I feel by the end of that book. Ooh, I told y'all, this is gonna be a short one. I'm like almost at the end of like the thoughts I think I've had. Let's see. I went out yesterday with people for the first time in like a long time. I don't know if I'll be doing it again in a long time, but I was like, let me go ahead and do that. It also made me feel like a little bit disconnected from like old relationships, you know, because it was meeting with people that I used to hang out with a lot, probably don't see as much anymore. But it made me kind of realize certain like disconnects with like certain relationships that were once really close to me. that was hard. That's always kind of like, actually, it wasn't too hard now because I feel like it was something I already processed before, but it is definitely like different. My dad asked me today, like, he asked me, like, am I happy? And I was like, what the heck, you know, he's so sad. But I was like, what am I going to tell you? No, I'm not happy. Like, I'm not just that person to share my burden to others. Also, as well, like, my parents, especially my dad, is not the type to, like, receive it well. He'll just end up being sad. And then he'll be like, well, what do we get out of this? Then now I'm, like, worried. Instead of worrying about, like, my emotions, now I'm worried about somebody else feeling bad about me feeling bad. So, but for the most part, I did tell him that I actually took the time to, like, mention something I did think about, which I don't really do as much. Like, we're not the open family here. We don't talk about our feelings around these parts. But I didn't mention, like, one thing that could make me happy is that, like, if he, like, took his time to find things that he enjoys, you know? And if I see him being happy and enjoying his life, I'll be happy. Things like that. So I did take the time to say that, which is something I don't think I would normally say. But, like, since he asked me, I may as well, put it out there. And my last thought, damn, how long have I been? Yeah, okay, 16 minutes. Not too bad. So, oh my gosh, I am tired of seeing this phenomenon that I've been seeing. And then this essentially where people, I'll be like watching a video, I'll be watching like a TikTok or something, and it'll be of like a pretty woman or like a conventionally attractive woman, but they'll be talking about something that is not beauty related. They'll be talking about something that's kind of thoughtful and that they've been thinking about, or like something that they've read and like explaining some type of thing, explaining a science, explaining a politics, explaining a something. But they're pretty and they're put together well. And I'll look in the comments just to see like the dialogue and discourse, to see like how other people are contributing to the conversation. And from my eye, I will see something just... It'll be somebody like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty. Oh my gosh, that top is so cute. Oh my gosh, where did you get that from? Oh my gosh. I just saw a video today where somebody was like, oh my gosh. The lady was literally talking about a book and talking about the like qualms of like society of like exhibiting empathy in a way that will like make you feel better versus like making the victim feel better in a way. I don't know. I can't really explain it extensively. But she was explaining that like themes from a certain book that had nothing to do with beauty. And in the comments, somebody's like, oh my gosh, what's your lip combo? You by the neck. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. And I've seen stuff like that often. And I'm so tired of seeing it. Like, you bitches is so good. Like, I love beauty. And I love a beautiful thing. I love beautiful things, don't get me wrong. But a time and damn place. And it just feels like, to me, people's brains are just so fried. Pretty. Like, it's just like, please, bitch, please get that fucking mascara out your nose. Like, oh, that makes me so mad. Listen, you ought to be listening. You should be listening to what this person is saying. And it'd be like, sometimes it makes me mad too, because like it'll be women perpetrating some of this shit too. So it's like, bro, I need you bitches to wake up sometimes. Like, damn. But yeah, that was a fresh one. That was a fresh thing that low-key irritated me. It was like the helms of irritating me today, like just like a few hours ago that I saw it. And this was something that had been irritating me, but like this specific video was like so out of pocket. But in this case, that it just made me like, bro. But yeah, that's it. That's about it for me this week. My mood level, I feel like I haven't had enough. Wow, again, I haven't had enough time to think too much of my mood because like I've been doing work stuff. I guess like my mood is like a little bit below midline, just a smidge bit. It's not midline. It's not too above line, but we're okay. You know, we're trucking and driving. I need to like get myself in line and ramp things up. I need to see something good. I need to see like a good difference in my life this year. Between now and the end of the year, hopefully. Pray on it. Right. I need to see a difference in finances. I need to see a difference in where I'm progressing in my goals. I just need to see a difference by then. So I'm working on it. I'm working on a project that I've been mentioning. I don't know if I've said the theme of it, but I've been like working on that. And that's coming along as well. So I did a little bit of that today. I like got some chord progressions out for some songs that have been working. I've had melodies for, but I didn't like touch too much, but I've like finally gotten like some chord progressions, so I'll continue working on those. And then before I leave though, Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour was this week, and I was like out when I was like going to like the like meetup that I went to yesterday. I was seeing people outside with like their cowboy hats and like boots and things and like their Western style clothes. And like I had a bit of FOMO. Like I had no really intentions of going to Cowboy Carter because I just saw Renaissance and I was like, Beyonce, let me hold off my money a little bit, babe. and I wasn't gonna go. But like when you see people like in this large experience with a theme, etc. All that being said, it made me it reinstalled in me the importance of creating an experience around an art, around a thing, you know, as Beyonce has done with like Cowboy Carter, with like Renaissance, creating this overall world that people can participate in. It's like such a powerful thing of artwork, and it's such a powerful form. With marketing. Remember when I mentioned about like marketing and like how it's kind of a hard thing for me to do? I realized this is like reminding me that there's like other certain avenues of marketing besides like the digital marketing, and then like some physical marketing, like before in the wintertime, or like not wintertime, but like before I left for my trip, I did a form of like physical real world marketing, which I didn't think was really worth the money. And I was like, okay, that's not really working. What should I do? But seeing that act of like marketing just by creating an experience was really interesting, because you can have fun. Like I have fun creating things, like an experience for people to indulge in and enjoy. That's a fun thing for me to do, and in itself it's marketing, because one, like I said, it instilled a bit of FOMO, right? It's instilling marketing about the product right now. So the concerts right now is one show is probably marketing for another show that's at the end of the tour. It's helping probably fill seats for that show. But not only that, it's also trickling a seed and sprinkling a seed for future shows from who knows when it'll come. But it's already sprinkling the seed for people to be like, oh, I didn't go to that show, but it looked really fun, so I'm going to go to this show. And I was like, man, that's where Beyonce is one of like the only, I think, artists that makes me want to be a superstar. Like the way she does things, and the way she has fun with like connecting different things in a simple way that I like to like connect different things, such as like media and capturing moments and storytelling through different mediums. She's such a like good display of that at like a large, not large, but like at a really laser focused scale of like digging in deep and like seeing things through, right? And exploring and seeing things through. And she's like one of those few artists that makes me really want to be like a superstar and like create something big, you know? So yeah, that was interesting to see. I wouldn't have even known it was in town if I didn't go out yesterday. So I guess it's a good thing that I did go out, because it helped me get that kind of like clarity and like messaging. But yeah, that's about it for me. That's really it for me this week. See me next week. Bye.